Magic Tree House, Book number 36, Sunlight on the Snow Leopard, by Mary Pope Osborne. Chapter 1, A Rainy Day. The late winter air was wet and chilly. Rain was falling. Jack sat on the front porch. He was taking notes on a book about grizzly bears. "There you are," said Annie, standing in the doorway. "Yep, here I am," said Jack, still writing. "It's raining," said Annie. "Yep," Jack said. "Day after day," said Annie. "It's so dreary." "Yep," said Jack. "You want to do something?" Annie asked. "Nope," Jack said. "We could make mud pies," said Annie. "Right," Jack said without looking up. "Or help worms cross the road," said Annie. "Good one," said Jack. "Study raindrops through our microscope," said Annie. "Hey, I think I hear Mom calling you," said Jack. "Very funny," said Annie. "No, really," said Jack. He covered his mouth and faked their mom's voice. "Annie!" Annie laughed. She stepped out onto the porch and looked at the falling rain. "Whoa," she said after a moment. "I think I really did hear something. It wasn't Mom, and it wasn't you." Jack looked up. "You're kidding, right?" he said. "Nope, not kidding," said Annie. "It's calling us." "Oh man, you were right the last time that happened," said Jack. He closed his notebook and stood up. "Okay, you win." "Yay," said Annie. She disappeared inside the house. "Mom, Dad, Jack and I are going for a walk." "Okay, but be back in 20 minutes for an early dinner," their mom called. "You'll need raincoats and boots," their dad shouted. A moment later, Annie came back with 2 pairs of rubber boots and 2 slick yellow raincoats. She and Jack pulled them on. Jack put his notebook and pencil in his pocket. He and Annie left the porch and ran across their soggy yard. They started up the sidewalk, splashing through big puddles. Cars swished past them in the rain. Soon, Jack and Annie crossed the street and headed into the Frog Creek woods. Their boots squished over the wet ground. They made their way between the bare trees until they came to the tallest oak. "Yay, I heard right," Annie said. "Yep, you did," said Jack. The magic tree house was back. It was tucked into the highest branches. Annie grabbed the rope ladder and started up. Jack followed her. The treehouse was damp inside. A small book was lying in the corner. Annie grabbed it. "It's a tourist guide," she said. "Cool, so where are we going?" asked Jack. "I hope it's warm and sunny." "Forget it," said Annie. She held up the book. The cover showed snow-covered mountains. The title was Hiking in Nepal. Darn, thought Jack. He was tired of cold rain and snow. "Nepal? Where's that?" said Annie. "I'm not sure," said Jack. "But I know it's where the Himalayas are, including Mount Everest. That's the highest peak in the world." Annie opened the guidebook. There was a map on the inside cover. "There," she said. She pointed to the small country of Nepal, tucked between India and China. "We've been to that part of the world," said Jack. "I know," said Annie. "Remember the silk weaver in China and riding elephants in India? Now we can add hiking in Nepal to the list." "Right," said Jack. "Is there a note in the book?" Annie shook the guidebook. A folded slip of paper fell out. "Thank you, Morgan," Annie said. She picked up the paper and read a message from Morgan Le Fay. Dear Jack and Annie, the gray ghost of the mountains, the phantom of snow, has a secret to tell you that very few know. Alone on the hillside, she hides in plain sight. Her wisdom speaks softly in shadows and light. Ask those around you where the ghost can be found. Follow the one who says higher ground. Let your hearts be open and your minds be free. Write down her secret and share it with me. The gray ghost, said Annie, her eyes wide. I wonder what that means, Jack said anxiously. I'll check the book. He turned to the back of their Nepal guide. Nope, no gray ghost in the index. Annie looked back at the rhyme. Maybe that's why Morgan says, ask those around you where the ghost can be found. That sounds easy enough. I guess, said Jack. Ready to go? Said Annie. Yeah, sure, said Jack, shivering. Hiking in cold gray weather didn't sound fun at all. Plus, he was actually a little afraid of ghosts. Are you nervous about something? Said Annie. No, I'm fine, said Jack. Don't worry, said Annie. The gray ghost is probably just part of a legend or a story. Jack felt a little better. Okay, let's go for it. He pointed to the cover of the Nepal guide. I wish we could go there, he said. The wind started to blow. The treehouse started to spin. It spun faster and faster. Then everything was still. Absolutely still. Chapter 2. We salute you. The air in Nepal was cold and dry. Wow, our clothes look like they came from our time, said Annie. Right, said Jack. Annie and Jack wore parkas with hoods, gloves, wool pants and hats, and hiking boots. Jack's notebook was in a pocket of his parka. 2 large red backpacks were on the floor. Wow, these are nice packs, said Annie. I wonder what's in them. Yeah, and why are they so big? Asked Jack. Jack and Annie each unzipped a backpack and looked inside. A rolled-up sleeping bag, said Jack. Cool, said Annie. We can sleep anywhere we want. So where are we? Said Jack. He and Annie looked out the treehouse window. They'd landed in a small hemlock grove. Beyond the woods, everything looked dreary. A brown, wintry pasture, lonely stone huts, and treeless gray mountains. It's gloomy here, too, said Jack. You can say that again, said Annie. It's gloomy here, too, said Jack. Jack and Annie leaned out the window. Beyond the hemlocks was a stream. 2 young girls in red dresses were kneeling on the bank. Both had flowing dark hair and were talking and laughing while they worked. They were scrubbing a pile of wooden plates and bowls. We can ask them about the gray ghost, said Annie. Come on, let's go down. It's a start, said Jack. Annie slipped Morgan's rhyme into a pocket of her parka. Jack put their guidebook into his backpack. Then they climbed down the rope ladder. Jack and Annie walked out from the hemlock grove and headed to the stream bank. When the girls caught sight of them, they cried out with excitement. They put the bowls aside and jumped to their feet. Each girl pressed her hands together and bowed her head. I salute you, they called out together. Annie copied the girls. She put her hands together, too, and bowed her head. We salute you, she said. I'm Annie. He's my brother Jack. I'm Minna, said the older girl. She's my sister Fully. The younger girl gave them a big grin. She was missing her 2 front teeth. Are you travelers? Asked Minna. Yes, said Annie. We're hikers, actually. Did you come to our village for the festival? Asked Minna. No, we're just hiking, said Jack. We came from America, said Annie. We're looking for something called the Grey Ghost of the Mountains. Have you heard of her? No, I haven't, said Minna. They should ask Tenzin, Foley said. Who's that? Said Annie. Tenzin is the storyteller in our village, said Minna. He knows all the stories about the mountains. He was once a mountain guide, said Foley. Yes, Tenzin used to lead climbers, said Minna. He carried their gear, made their tea, but he no longer does that. He doesn't do anything now, said Foley in a sad voice. Why? Said Annie. Because he's too sad. He was left all alone, said Foley. Jack wondered what that meant. He might know a story about a grey ghost, though, said Minna. Would you like to visit him? Sure, said Jack. We'll take you, said Minna. The sisters quickly packed their clean plates and bowls into 2 bamboo baskets. Then each girl strapped a basket onto her back. Follow us, said Minna. Wait, can we help carry your stuff? Asked Jack. No, we carry heavy things every day, said Minna. Every day, Foley chimed in with a grin. Under the cloudy late afternoon sky, the girls led Jack and Annie down a dirt path through an open pasture. Even with their heavy baskets, they walked quickly. Jack and Annie hurried after Minna and Foley. They passed black cattle and gray sheep grazing in the brown winter grass. They passed other people with heavy loads, too. Children with bundles of sticks and older people with bales of hay on their backs. Everyone seems to work really hard here, Jack thought. But as they scurried along, the sisters were cheerful. They laughed with each other, and Foley kept looking back and smiling her big toothless grin. Jack and Annie followed them through tangled weeds. Then they headed up a steep path to a small hut at the edge of the village. The hut was nestled against the side of a mountain slope. Tenzin, called Foley. Tenzin! I am here, a soft voice called from the flat rooftop. It's Minna and Foley, called Minna. We brought 2 visitors. Can we come up? Tenzin didn't answer. We'd better check on him, said Minna. The sisters put down their baskets. Then they scrambled up a wooden ladder to Tenzin's rooftop.